lack of proactiveness that you're talking about,
Yes.
was it this trait or was it only about this particular incident?
It is trait. It is a trait. That is why this slightly politics, but I can't, help telling it now since you raised a question. Like there would be groups of Congress leaders coming from opposition-ruled states and requesting him, "Sir, udhar wo chal raha hai, ye chal raha hai, gadbad chal raha hai, it is if you can remove him, we are going to win." And Mr. Rao would listen to them patiently and would give them a very disappointing answer. That is, "I'm not going to do that. He has been elected. And if you are very sure, you work hard and wait for the term to complete." And the disappointed leaders would be going back, accusing him of inaction, of not being enough, not dynamic enough or proactive. Because those who are coming and requesting, they have nothing to lose. They have something to gain only, because there is at least 50% chance of their coming back to power. And if it doesn't, the same party would continue and they don't lose anything. But as a prime minister, he wouldn't do that. That is his trait. He wouldn't, like, for example, any other person to become more popular within the party, more acceptable to a party, could have thought of doing such schemes, but he is not the one. And to that extent, some of the party men did not like him, because he wouldn't, oblige them with such.
It was during Rao's term that ISRO spy case was came up. No? So a group of
Yes.
So the Congress was not happy with Karunakaran and they wanted to remove him. So the story is like that. They went and told Rao, this man is claiming that he made Rao the prime minister. That is the story. And people say Rao also had a hand in connecting this Karunakaran with ISRO spy case, which was
I think that was real piece of imagination. Incidentally, part of your story is correct in the sense all the leaders of the parties of the UF had visited the Prime Minister and told him categorically that if Mr. Karunakaran was not removed, party is going to pay very heavily for that. And again, to the best of my knowledge, it was only M.V. Raghavan, but he was the only MLA of his party, right? Who didn't want a change. All other party leaders who reached there on a night, I remember, all these leaders had reached there. And again, I quote unquote, to the best of my knowledge, all of them wanted leadership change, except Mr. M.V. Raghavan. And naturally, as a Prime Minister and leader of the Congress party, when all the parties involved in the front is requesting for a change of leadership, he couldn't have said no to it. And the other theory is absolutely incorrect. And you must have, people, the press, the newspapers were full of it those days. Stories after story. Yes. And on top of it, the party leaders coming, all the leaders were, Mr. K. Mani, Mr. Kunyari Kuti, everybody, all the coalition partners were there. Their leaders were there. It was a late night meeting, I remember. And I gathered, somehow I came to know that except Mr. Raghavan and all others had requested Mr. Rao for this change of leadership.
So the current government has drafted women into the SPG.
Yes.
So does that mean gender doesn't matter? I mean, any commando is a commando.
Yeah.
What exactly does
No,
message that gives?
what I feel, there is a very natural sort of evolution. Now, for example, you have large number of prospective protectees entering public life. Women are naturally asking for and getting more space in the public life. So you will have more protectees today or tomorrow from that gender. Simultaneously, the police forces are also recruiting large number of women into their organizations. Thirdly, they are doing, especially some of them are doing very well. They are as if they have to prove that they are no less. They are doing so well. So all the three facts together, their induction into such forces on such assignments, it's very natural and it's very welcome. It's good, and they'll do a good job of it. SPG, of course, even earlier had women. Even during our time, SPG, we were looking after the family members' security and all, close spouse committee security with the lady officers. But more of them would be deployed, and it's very natural. It is welcome. It is good.
So with proper training, a woman commando can be equally good as a male commando. Physical, I'm talking
Physical
about
also, yes. Physically also. And I find they are generally doing so good, so well. As if when I say, I would use that word, they want to prove that they are not less. That is something, that mental preparation is very important. And they do it so smartly. And then the other reasons you have scope for more women protectees coming into the field of politics and requiring protection. And they'll be naturally more comfortable with the lady commandos around them than male.
Do you believe, despite doing such service, the CRPF often does get sidelined when it comes to popular culture or the kind of glory attached to many of their valor goes maybe unnoticed?
This happens. This happens. For example, now of course there is with the new media coming up and all these, and of course at the national level also, political parties are also now more aware of the problems. The political leadership, whether ruling or otherwise, they're more aware of these problems. But then the role is such, that everybody understands. They understand, even the personal responsible people within the force also understand. But when it comes to the except Pulwama, other incidents have not been getting the attention that it deserved. Pulwama was the only exception. For example, this April 6th, 2010, 75 deaths. It was hardly noticed by the nation, government or non-governmental agencies. Several people don't know, even before first regular war of the country was with Chinese aggression in 62. A war, declared formal war, we faced was 1962, Chinese aggression. But in 1961, before that, on 21st October, CRPF men were ambushed and killed by the Chinese. Paramilitary or a police organization people suffering casualties at the hands of a foreign army, even before the formal war started. The first burnt was suffered by the CRPF, nobody knows. Except that, of course, entire country, all police organizations, the entire fraternity observes 21st October as Police Commemoration Day because of this incident, which happened in Leh, hot spring, where 13 battalion people sacrificed. I had served in that battalion also. In fact, that was my first battalion. Similarly, another story of valor is not known to the public. Before the 65 war started, formal war started, 64, April 9th, in the military history, CRPF has written its story in golden letters by standing against a brigade of regular army versus a battalion of CRPF. Other side you have a brigade and regular army, and here one battalion, run of Kutch. Only CRPF celebrates this as Valor Day of Valor, Valor Day, 9th of April. The public doesn't know. As you said rightly, these are such glorious chapters in the long history of CRPF, less known to the public. That is an obvious disadvantage, but that things are being taken care of, and now the political leadership, public, as we have seen in the case of Pulwama, there is more expression of solidarity and appreciation of the unsung heroes of CRPF, which is a welcome thing.
And there's enough being done to modernize the force, as in terms of weapons, new weapons. This is also another complaint that we have heard. The CRPF doesn't get enough good quality rifles, or the Jawans basically. Except perhaps maybe for Cobra. The other routine forces,
We
there's
have
enough being done.
our role being what it is, I think weaponry modernization is perfectly okay. We don't need, we are not going to fight in the borders against an enemy from outside. It is after all within the country. So weaponization is not needed in such a massive scale. Yes, it has to be moderately expanded. What is more important is the man behind the mission. That is, weaponry is not a problem. Equipment, yes. The technology can be more improved in terms of communication, in terms of protection, the protective gears. So such equipment, of course, a lot can be done and should be done. But weaponry-wise, I think it's okay. Like we have the light machine gun and several other weapons, reasonably enough to take on the domestic issues, general security issues.